What's going on, everybody? This is Big Joe, and this is Let's Talk. Today, we're going to talk about enabling. Now, what is enabling? You know, like what's that word? Can I not say it? Is it too big of a word? Personally, it was on my toilet paper this morning. No, I'm just playing. Enabling is when a loved one, a dear friend, is allowing the addict, is supplying the addict with rather board, room, shelter, food, money, or how about whether we can just say they're co-signing their bullshit to keep them to where they feel like it's okay to use. I see this all the time, unfortunately. Mainly it's the mother, and I'm not trying to be biased in this or anything. You really see it out of the mothers mostly because they've got a huge heart and they really love their son, daughter, husband, all these things so much that they just keep giving them money, giving them somewhere to live, giving them food, giving in to their demands. They're calling from jail or they're calling from down the street or a couple towns, please come pick me up. My car just got towed, rent's due, our electric's going to get cut off. All these other things, and more times than not, the mom gives into it. And that's a big problem. I mean, honestly, I've seen tons of people die from this. I really have. The mother's doing the best thing she thinks she can do. The father's doing the best thing he thinks he can do. The family's doing all these great things. They're trying their best. They're doing what they know. Is they're loving them. And they don't realize that they're loving the addict to death. They don't. They really don't get it. They don't understand that by feeding into it, they're supplying them with what they need to justify, to co-sign their own bullshit. And I guess I'll put the disclaimer here, verbal disclaimer. If my foul language offends you or upsets you in any way, I do greatly apologize, but please just change the channel. I'm sorry. I got colorful language. But it's serious. I mean, sometimes we have to use colorful words to drive a point home, to make it clear, to make it to where you understand that this is not a joke, this is not a game. I currently in my family, I'm going to keep it on me. I have one of my second cousins. His mother is loving him to death. He is a 27-year-old man, or boy, I'm going to say boy. He's a boy in a man's body, that his mother's killing him. She pays for his cell phone. She pays for his car. Anytime he calls, kicks or cusses or screams at her, she sends him some money. She's put, I don't know how many restraining orders on him. She's put EPOs on him, but she keeps letting him come back. And some people would say, oh, well, that's her fault. She shouldn't be letting him do these things. Blah, 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 this, that, and the other. But in reality, it's a mother's heart to take care of her kid, to love her child, to see that they're provided for. And mainly, they're doing the only thing they know. That's why it's such a huge thing. It was one of the reasons why I made this channel about Let's Talk on the Fighting Addiction Network, and all the other work that I do was to help educate these moms and dads, to help show them that they're not alone, that they don't have to keep doing this, that there is a way out. Now let's go through some classic signs or classic scenarios of enabling. Let's say we have father. We'll call him John. Let's say John has a daughter. She just got into college and got good grades starting out. But, John starts seeing the grades falling down. Maybe she's missing some work. And, he's calling his daughter and saying, honey, what's going on? Why are your grades slipping? Or is it just a hard class? Is it a bad teacher? What is it? What is it? Are you partying too much? What's going on? And his daughter says, well, and then she doesn't take any ownership of it. It's everybody else's fault. Well, my teachers are hard. I hate my roommate. The classes are too close together. I can't seem to make it to class on time, so I just don't go. You're not giving me enough money, so I have to work a job. And between school and work and studying, I'm just overworked. If any of this sounds familiar, I mean, please reach out to me at recoverychampions.org and let's talk about it. Yeah, let's talk, right? That's a classic example of what we see with college. College age kids, whether it be a girl or a boy, man or woman, we'll see that. Then what happens is there'll start being a whole lot more phone calls coming in, into the home, into the mothership, saying, I wasn't able to work as much, or my grades are slipping, they've taken away my scholarship. I need you to pay my tuition, but instead of paying it to the school, I can get it cheaper if you send it to me, right? I've come across that. And you're like, do what? Send you the check? A lot of parents do it. They believe their children because they have no reason not to. But they don't see the signs. Now me, I am a recovering addict. I've played just about every angle there is. I know what to spot out. It's the reason why I'm a great interventionist, is I know how to read through the bullshit. So now, these parents are sending this money. Now let's say that they show up one day to visit their daughter or son unannounced, find them drunk, passed out. It's just a college kid, right? That's what most parents are going to say. They're going to sit there and say, they're like, that's just how little Johnny or Betsy does. It's college, all kids experiment, they drink. But you done seen the grades falling down. They done been calling home and asking for money. Now you show up and you see them and you want to justify it because no parent wants to believe their kid. It's that classic symptom of, not my kid, not my family. They was raised better than that. How many of y'all said that? Or how many of y'all know somebody out there that, hey, they've had friends say it? If you have, drop something down in the comments down below. Let me know. Shoot me a message. recoverychampions.org. You can send me an email. Let me know what you think. If you're watching this on YouTube, man, drop it down in the comments right down there. Let me know if this has happened to you. Because if it has and you've come through it and they've gotten better, maybe they just came out of it or whatever happened, I'd love to know your story. So now let's see. We got John, and he's went to school to check on his daughter because the grades were slipping and she was calling home asking for money. He's found her drunk on a school day. She should be in class or at her job or studying something, right? It's college, it's a lot of work. What does he do? He doesn't get in her ass about it and ask what's going on. He's like, okay, it'll be okay, honey, and here, let me go buy you some more stuff. Most parents want to put a Band-Aid on it. They want to throw money at it, and hope that it goes away. But 9 times out of 10, it just makes it 1,000 times worse. So what should have John done? Now, we've talked about the problem. Now let's talk about the solution. Now, what John should have done, especially when the grades started going down, he should have made his first trip up there and not have waited. Don't get complacent. Don't think it can happen to you because it's happening to everyone in America right now. There's not a family that's going untouched. There's no one going untouched in this epidemic, this war, this battle, this craziness that's going on in America. Excuse me. So now what we have to do, John needs to make a trip up there. What's really going on? Now, if he finds a lot of paraphernalia, whether it be drugs or alcohol in the college room, hey, confront. You're not here to party. Hey, you can have fun and you can cut loose on the weekend when you don't need to be studying, but you're not here for a vacation. This is college. This is the next springboard to your future. Get out there and do the best you can, get the best grades you can, and especially if it's my kid, I'm going to tell him, don't have me come back up here. You have me come back up here, this is not going to be a pretty show. Now, the second thing. Now, John's done been up there once. He's confronted his daughter. He got real with her. Didn't pat her on her butt and tell little Betsy that it's going to be okay. And he said, look, here's the bottom line. This is what you're going to have to do or I can't support you no more in this. So now she's calling home asking for a bunch of money. First thing is okay, we're going to go over your budget. Where'd your money go? Now, I'm going to get it. Your college kids, you might not have the most physical responsibility. You're going to overspend a little bit. But if you keep calling and asking me for money, here I come again. I'm coming right back up. Be up there this weekend. Hope you got your shit together. You go up there, you see that that she doesn't have really anything. A lot of stuff has maybe even disappeared. You find out maybe she's not even working. Her grades have slipped even more. What I'm going to tell every single one of you to do right now is this is where you need to have an intervention, because clearly something is wrong and you've got to get down to the bottom of it. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. You have to stay motivated to watch out for your kids. Even though if they're in their early 20s, mid-20s, wherever they're at, this thing is cunning, baffling, and powerful. Trust me, I know. I've been through it. You start seeing warning signs, you got to confront them. And you can't make them do nothing because they're over the age of 18. But by God, you don't have to give them anything to make it even worse, to keep it going downhill. And the hardest thing you're going to have to do as a parent is walk away. Walk away from them. Say, look, I love you and I love you more than anything. You're my child. And I will always be there from you, but I'm going to have to love you from over there. I can't love you from right here, right now. Because as long as I'm here to pick you up and still help you move forward, you're never going to do it on your own. Now, so a lot of times this is going to get a whole lot worse before it gets better, but that's what has to be done. Then you can't even give them a bologna sandwich. Now, I know that sounds crazy. Your kid's out there and they're not doing right, and they show up on your doorstep and they're like, hey, Mom, Dad, I'm starving. Can you please just give me something to eat? I'm going to die. You say, you know what? You can stay right here on my porch. You're not coming in. And I'll bring you a half a sandwich. Then you got to leave. They're going to cry, and it's going to tear your heart out because you want nothing best for your kid. You want nothing but the best for them. You saw him, you raised him, you saw him grow up, and I completely understand how hard this is. But you got to understand that you're doing the best thing to save their life. They keep going through this cycle. They keep going through this cycle. I did it to my mom. I kept going to her and feeding her such the craziest line of bullshit, and she kept giving me money, and I went out and got high with it every time. None of it was the truth. None of it was real. It was all just fabricated bullshit for me to get what I wanted. My mom just about loved me to death. And the last time I went to jail, it was probably the hardest thing she ever did. But she's like, I hope a cop was arresting me at her house. And she said, she looked at that cop, looked at me, and she said, Joseph, I hope I never see you again. I hope they never let you out. I had broken my mother's heart, you all. But she had finally woke up and realized that she did what she had to do. She put me in jail. Now, I hope none of y'all ever have to go through something that hard. I hope y'all don't have to go through what my mother went through, what I put my family through, my wife, my son, my mother. I hope you don't have to go through that kind of madness. But the chances are you might. If you don't nip it in the bud. If you're watching this show, you already know there's a problem. You already know there's something going on. So get real. Wake up. For real, wake up. So now, since I touched on my wife, I'm talking directly to the husband or wife that's watching this right now. Guys, I know it's hard. Wives, you love your husbands. Husbands, you love your wives. But you gotta stand up to them. You have to understand that they need help. They gotta get help. And you ain't the one that can help them. You're not. I don't care how many YouTube videos you watch, and I hope you're watching this one, or how many books you read, how many seminars you attend, how many support groups you go to, you cannot help them. They need to go somewhere with licensed professionals, counselors, therapists, doctors, nurses, whatever the case may be, and get the proper professional help. That's where I've seen a lot of husband and wives make this drag out 5, 10, 15, 20 years until they just throw their hands up and they say they're done. And it's because they try to do it themselves. And then they listen to the bullshit stories. Oh, I can get myself sober. I don't need to go get help. I can do this my time. I've lost enough and blah, 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 this, that, and the other. And I'm pretty sure some of y'all have heard all this before if you've said it. But the thing is, you can't help them. You're too close. You are too close to the issue. You are too close. You are part of the problem because you have become codependent. They have made you sick. And going through this time, this anger, these issues, you have become so sick and so codependent that you want them to stay that way. I think it was one of the hardest things me and my wife went through when I first came home from jail, treatment, all these things. I was gone, God, I don't know how long, 2 or 3 years. And I come home and I'm not the same guy. She'd known me since high school. And God bless her, she's been with me for 18 years. But I wasn't the same guy that I was when I went away. We had to get to know each other again. But I know she needed her time. And so do you. If you have a husband or wife, son or daughter out there that has drug you through hell, that has put you through so much pain and agony and suffering, that you need to go get better. You need this time for you to heal and get joyous and free and happy and healthy. I mean that. You need to take the time. I mean that. And I hope you completely feel how much I'm trying to reach out to you right now. Is that you have to go get help. You have to. So I hope this has answered some of your questions about enabling. Don't give them any money. You can tell them you love them, but that's about as far as it goes. No money, no phone, no gas, no paying the bills, no nothing. Don't even give them a bologna sandwich. You cannot keep supplying this demand, this want, this need that they have and buying into their bullshit just because you love them. All you're doing is furthering the pain, furthering their suffering, furthering all these other things that are going on. Enabling has made so many people, enabling has turned someone codependent, and that codependent enabler has killed more addicts than just about any other outside issue besides addiction itself. It's a true statement. If you have somebody out there that you know is doing drugs and you know they're suffering, reach out to me. I want you to go to recoverychampions.org. I want you to give me a call. My phone number is going to be right there. Right there. You can call me personally. And I'll do everything I can to help. But these are the things you have to do. If you know somebody's out there and they've been using, even if they say that, hey, I'm going to get better this time, it's going to be different, I promise. And they haven't went and done some kind of inpatient care, or let's say they even have, and they still keep displaying these same little behaviors. They might be clean, but they're still displaying these behaviors, the lying, the cheating, the stealing, the manipulating. Because that's mainly what an addict's doing, is they're manipulating you. They are sitting there using every little trick in the book. They're doing this, they're doing that, and they're tricking you into giving them what they need. So, and I could go on with this for hours, all the different ins and outs of what is enabling. How does an addict use a parent? How does an addict manipulate a parent? How does an addict manipulate their spouse, their kids? I mean, I've seen a lot of us, people in active addiction manipulate their children into giving them their piggy bank, giving them the money they've put into savings. All these things, but you've got to get educated, and that's the reason I've talked so much about recoverychampions.org, is that's where you can reach out, because each situation's different. You can't go on Google. Google is one of my worst enemies when it comes to this. It has tons of educational stuff, but every situation is different. You're different than the person next door. You're different than the person you see on A&E. You're different than the case study you read on Google. You're different than what happened 3 cities over you saw on the evening news. What is happening to you is happening to you. It is your story. Everybody that's involved, it is your all story. And it has to be approached specifically, individualized. And that's what I specialize in. Is taking each case by case by case basis. Everybody's story is different. Everybody's solution is different. Not everybody can do AA. Not everybody can do NA. Not everybody can do smart recovery. Not everybody has to go to residential care. Not everybody has to do this or that or this or that. It's what do you have going on? What do you need? And we can help you get down to the bottom of it. I work with licensed counselors. I work with licensed therapists, addiction specialists. I work with all these things. I'm the street guy. I'm the guy that can relate to the addict. That's the reason why they call me Big Joe. As I am the guy that if I have to, I will kick in the door of a trap house. I will take your kid to an airport at 2 a.m. if I need to. I will get him to detox at 5 a.m. if I have to. I'm the guy that you can call and will go to any length necessary to help your son, daughter, husband, wife, cousin, uncle, aunt, your best buddy get the help they need. That's what I do, but mainly I have to educate you so you can understand what to look for. You have to understand, am I enabling? Have I become codependent? Am I a co-signer? Or do I want to be the scapegoat? It's all my fault. It's my fault that they use. It's my fault that they do this. It's my fault. That's the same thing as a battered wife, a battered spouse. I made them do it. It's all my fault. I've heard it a lot, and it hurts my soul. Literally, it hurts me deep down right here when I hear these things. It's nobody's fault. They have a disease. They have a sickness. Centered in the mind, but has corrupted the soul and destroyed the heart. It's turned them into something you don't even recognize. It turns them into something, this beast, this monster, this demon, whatever you want to call it, but it's not the person you love. And all I want to do is help the person that's sick become the person they deserve to be. But I have to educate you. I have to keep you from enabling them. Because I could do all this work. They could go and put in all this great work in treatment or detox or IOP or work on a farm, whatever. But if you keep giving in to them and keep letting them manipulate you and you don't learn how to put that foot down, they're just going to go right back. They're going to go right back to the way they was because they know they can get away with it. That's what we do. That's what addicts love. That's what we thrive on. Until we learn structure. We learn peace. And we understand what that word means. And we understand that we can't manipulate you anymore because you're going to call us out. And you're going to say, no, sorry, bud. Sorry, pal. That ain't going to fly today. I'm not going to give you any money. You've got everything you need. If you want more, go put in some work. That's all I want you to understand. Is don't give in to them. You're killing them. Yeah, they're the ones putting the dope in them, but you're allowing them to keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. Just stop. And even if you don't think that you are, or this might be you, but you're not sure, I want you to reach out to this website and then reach out to this phone number, whichever one you're more comfortable with, and I'm going to do what I can to help you. You understand? This is Big Joe. I'm Recovery Champions. I want all of y'all to be a champion. I want you to rise. I want you to become great. I want you to become the person you deserve to be. But we got to get you clear-headed. We got to get the dope, the alcohol out of you, and get you to become great again. This is Big Joe, Recovery Champions. I love every single one of you. Thank y'all for watching this episode on enabling. If you need help, reach out. Don't wait. Let's get it and save a life today. Love y'all.